With all of the various celebrations for hip hop, this year has definitely made it clear that hip hop is and has always been a prominent genre. I think he's just picked up a new style to like bring people back to him off after having a few really bad PR moments. And like I think I mentioned on this channel before, I've been waiting for Solo JT. Sexy Red is definitely an experience. She's definitely stuck in the 2010s with the fashion, but it's working. Seems like they forgot to get into the awards. I think it's probably time to either reinvent the wheel of award shows or just kind of getting back to giving artists a moment to really hype up what they're being awarded for. Hello. I'm Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Hello. I'm Nikole and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got an episode of Run the Show and we are getting into the 2023 BET Hip Hop Awards. Now we did not cover this show last year, but with it being the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I figured it was only right. So let's get into it. So to kick this thing off, I guess we can discuss the entire show. They called in Fat Joe to host for the night, and it actually wasn't a bad choice. He handled all the introductions, had a few jokes here and there, even interacted with the crowd, but they were not rocking with him. They chose to highlight the important role of DJs and producers to the history of hip hop, which I thought was a worthy narrative that hadn't been covered this year. With all of the various celebrations for hip hop, this year has definitely made it clear that hip hop is and has always been a prominent genre, and it's definitely time for it to have its own historical archives, just like country and rock. I really do appreciate all of the shows making it one central focus for the year, but I still don't feel like anyone has done it justice just because there's so much to get into, and hip hop has definitely taken on a few different lives over these 50 years. I will give the original BET Awards credit though, they came really close. Additionally, I think for just the whole appeal of the show, I think we all could tell that the budget for this show was not on par with the previous hip hop awards. From the venue, the staging, the promotion, and even some of the selections for performances just seemed very lacking. Now to get into these performances, they chose DaBaby to open the show, which honestly set the tone for the entire show for me. I feel like he hasn't been booked in a very long time on like a televised show. I was like, okay. He does have a couple of new songs that are popping on TikTok, so I guess him making it back to the stage was cool, but it just all seemed very messy. Just from some of the camera angles and how like the crowd was not really into it. Like the dancers were coming down the aisle, the camera angles, like people was getting hit with hair. It was just a lot happening for the show, and it just seemed like something was off. He did happen to bring out Manny Fresh and Juvenile, crediting them for the samples that he just used on those songs. So it was cool. And then he brought out Sexy Red. Now, I have never seen Sexy Red perform, but I think she's gonna keep up this whole gimmicky thing because she performed again later in the night, which we'll get into, of having people dress up like her with the red hair and the glasses. So I think that's something that her and DaBaby are kind of doing because he also has his mascot. It's very reminiscent to how Ludacris used to do in the 2000s. So I think he's just picked up a new style to like bring people back to him off after having a few really bad PR moments. But it was all right. Next up, we'll get into Glorilla's performance. Now, previously we did discuss her performance on the BET Awards where she performed she was trying to get into her sexy girl bag. And I don't think that vibe was really rocking with her. But now she's back in her dance bag with her new song, Cha Cha Cha, which I know a couple of people were mad about her sampling the Cha Cha Slide and Uchi Wally. They felt like it was too soon with the passing of the creator of the Cha Cha Slide. But I feel like it was cute. I think her performance with even being with it being themed as far as like a high school detention type setup. I felt like her setup was a little more theatrical and a little more entertaining and definitely picked up some energy for the show. Being able to bring out 504 and keeping like the drill sound going. I'm sorry, every time I hear the drill New York sound, it just makes me miss Pop Smoke because I really feel like he could have dominated that lane. That's not to discredit 504, and I think he handles it very well. I think the drill sound is now like starting to feel the same, and I'm waiting to see like if somebody's gonna kind of like level it up a little bit. But I feel like the song was cute. It's very much so for TikTok with the different dance moves. And I kind of felt like the way she flipped the cha-cha slide was cute. We're riding along to JT and the City Girls. JT kicked it off by herself performing her new song, No Bars. And like I think I mentioned on this channel before, I've been waiting for solo JT. I know she be in the house. I know she be chilling. I know she don't really be wanting to deal with a lot of people in the industry, but I've been waiting for JT to take center stage. And not so much of like a discredit to Carisha. I just know like both of them separately. I feel like JT definitely is more so, how do I say this? I don't know. I feel like she's more so of an artist. I'll just say it like that. And I've been waiting to see what a world of just JT sounds and looks like, just from some of her recent fashion choices and things that she kind of alludes to liking to do when she does drop snippets online. It's definitely a little different from the typical City Girls sound. And she did bring out Young Miami, and they did a new song for the City Girls, which their new album Raw is coming out really soon. And the song really just sounds like Act Up to me, but I wasn't mad at it. I know sometimes when artists kind of typically have one sound, it kind of can feel like a one-trick pony. But with how saturated hip hop is with all of the different female rappers, I feel like it's kind of good for them to stick to the Miami 305 sound. And I really wasn't annoyed by it. Overall, they look good. They definitely got in their choreo bag. I know they called in Cortland to stage and choreograph their performance. But I could not help but notice that the DJ was on stage naked. And I was really confused once the camera went to him. Like, everybody's clothed. Why don't you have on a shirt? So that was just really weird to me. But I felt like allowing JT to come out and have her spotlight for her own song was dope. I was hoping that it was leading to a JT project, but we are going back into another City Girls era, so we'll definitely be seeing what their album sounds like. Now, bringing it back around to Miss Sexy Red. As I said, I haven't like really seen her perform outside of like certain clips on social media. She performed a melody of her songs, Hellcat SRT, s2e4, Pound Town, and I'm assuming the song is called Dreadhead. Now, once we got to the Dreadhead song, I was waiting for that one. I was like, let's go ahead, get to s2e4, because she just kept saying Dreadhead. It really didn't, I don't even remember the verse from that. But Sexy Red is definitely an experience. Obviously, in recent years, there's always been a new girl. I feel like every 4 to 6 months. And they go on a solid run. She is on a Sexy Red run. Everybody knows that you're going to see them black glasses, some red hair, and a lot of booty shorts. She's definitely stuck in the 2010s with the fashion, but it's working. So, I don't know. I didn't really expect much from a performance from Sexy Red, but I didn't expect such a lack of stage presence. She kind of just stands there and does her Sexy Red rock. But people eat it up. The music is fun. It's definitely city girl, ratchet girl, fun club music. So definitely was interesting watching her perform these songs. I don't really know what to expect more from Sexy Red, but going into the next year, I'm definitely interested to see how she keeps this up, how she keeps the spotlight, and how she continues to collaborate and where she lands in the scheme of female hip-hop. Now moving into some of these special performances of the night, Rakim and LL Cool J came out to honor Marley Marl, which was an awardee that we'll get into a little later. This is definitely where the energy came to pick up. I feel like the crowd definitely got more into the show. I feel like, and I don't know why the lights were on the entire time. Typically, the lights are off in the crowd. So being able to see the entire venue during the award show just kind of threw me off as well. But like the fact that everybody was just sitting there with their shades on the whole time was a little awkward. But back to LL's performance, he performed a medley of songs from his early era, and I feel like this is where we started to get the moments of crediting hip hop and hip hop really being the focus of the like throwback hip hop and tributing hip hop became to be a focus of the show. And this is where people were actually on their feet interacting and celebrating the music. So it was cool to see LL back on the stage. And it just, I just feel like he's definitely preserved himself. He's able to articulate himself very well in his performance and keep his energy up. That was just a note that I took. It was interesting because I don't think I ever really paid much attention to how much energy LL uses, but like he's kept himself up. But then moving on to So Def, who is another, I guess, like label and clique that has been missing from the hip hop tributes this year. Now, So Def being headed by Jermaine Dupri, I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough because even like waiting to like get to this part of the show, I'm like, what songs are they gonna do? Like, I feel like he is definitely kind of like an unsung hero because he brought out the Franchise Boys, Little John, Nelly, Chingy, Brat, Bow Wow. These are all people who were very prominent, especially in my childhood, and key to a lot of different eras in hip hop. So I felt like it was dope to see JD be able to get his props and get a little credit and kind of refresh people's brains on his contribution to hip hop. And last but not least, the performance element that the BET Hip Hop Awards is definitely known for is its ciphers. They charged Swizz Beatz and Timbaland with the responsibility of curating the ciphers this year, giving them a chance to highlight their contribution to hip hop as well, having some of our newbies and a few legends perform freestyles over their beats. The ciphers featured Cassidy, Lola Brooke, Bun B, Lady London, Gloss Up, Farga Raw, and Scarlett. I feel like the ciphers are always telling like who's the actual like rappers. Everybody brought their A game this year. And it seems like Swizz is definitely taking on more so a mentor role when it comes to Scarlett and making sure that she is on the right path and can grow organically in this industry. Now, obviously, we cannot forget to get into the awards, but it seems like they forgot to get into the awards. As I've mentioned a few times, I feel like award shows have definitely become more so mini festivals featuring more of the performances, obviously doing their best to get people to tune in and watch the live show, or pre-recorded in this case. But they literally only televise 4 awards where they give out at least 20, and 2 of the awards that they chose to televise were honorary awards. So the first award that was given out for the night was the Breakthrough Award, which Ice Spice was awarded, which obviously she is a breakthrough / new artist, but she was not there to receive the award. I don't know what she was at, but this is technically her second award of her career. And I feel like she kind of is the most deserving out of that category, with her coming in strong with the brand deals. Definitely has found her audience to lock in with, and she's kept the music going. Like, I don't think Ice Spice has disappeared from our view all year, so I definitely think that was the proper award for her to take home. Then Timbaland and Swizz Beatz were awarded the Cultural Influence Award. Now with this award, they didn't really do much of a video montage. They kind of just spoke to their collaborations and the artists that they've supported. So I feel like this award was kind of more so just to highlight their influence thanks to creating Versus, which Swizz did announce that they finally purchased back. So it is now back within the culture. So I'm hoping that they figure out a new way to kind of revive Versus, because I felt like they had a good thing going. Definitely felt like it was too soon for them to sail and kind of expand, when I don't think it was fully like solidified as far as I definitely think they could have worked out some more of the kinks before selling it, but I'm glad that they have acquired it back, and we can kind of see what the next level of verses will be. Even beyond verses, I think their cultural influence has spanned both of them almost, if not more than 30 years when it comes to them being prominent producers in all genres, even beyond hip hop. And then the last major award they gave out was the I Am Hip Hop Award, which they give out every year to someone who has been significant in the growth and the advancement of hip hop music. This year they awarded Marley Marl, who was a DJ, producer, and is credited for creating sampling. So he's definitely been a part of hip hop and should be credited for a lot of how hip hop has expanded, especially since sampling is the main thing that we either celebrate or complain about now when it comes to music, even in other genres. And that was actually something that I did not know. I feel like I've heard his name a lot, especially when it comes to people talking about LL Cool J's career. But I did not know that he had such an extensive history as a DJ, as a radio host, and obviously a producer that created sampling. All in all, I think the show was okay, but it wasn't very entertaining to where it kept my attention the whole 2.5 hours. Overall, the most enjoyable award show this year was the original BET Awards. I think it's probably time to either reinvent the wheel of award shows or just kind of getting back to giving artists a moment to really hype up what they're being awarded for and give them a moment to shine. I think we see enough of the performances and the gossipy moments thanks to social media now. So I don't know what we could do to kind of zhuzh back up the award show appearance. I know we even discussed like whether or not Gen Z is even tapped into award shows, but me being someone who has always loved award shows and grown up watching them religiously, I definitely don't want the culture of award shows to die. So I don't know. I think there's definitely some things to reconsider with the framework of some of these award shows and how they are presented. But y'all let me know what you guys thought about the 2023 BET Hip Hop Awards. Drop down in the comments below. Let me know what some of your favorite performances were and if you guys got into what some of the other awards were. Y'all already know what to do over here on YouTube. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you never miss a drop. And if you would like to see the extended version of this video and even watch some of the performances, you guys can slide over to my Patreon where you can subscribe for only $3 and get additional content like the More Than K vlog series and extended episodes of all of the series. And that's a wrap on season 2 of Run the Show, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.